The story begins with three middle-aged friends who, as every year, meet at a restaurant for their annual gathering. While drinking alcohol, the three of them are reminiscing about their exciting days of youth. Suddenly, one of them notices a group of thugs sitting nearby. Just by looking at them, the thugs become furious and throw a bucket at him. His old fighting nature, which had been dormant for so many years, suddenly awakens, and within moments, he knocks several thugs to the ground all by himself. But when he turns around and looks at his friends, he realizes that Kim has already disappeared from there because he is now afraid of getting into any kind of trouble. Kim is no longer the fearless man he once was. After the death of his wife, he had raised his daughter Minji alone. Minji is now studying in the second year of high school. While Kim, he spends his life going between home and office every day, posing as an ordinary bank employee. He avoids arguments. He does not fight and only wants to live peacefully. But trouble keeps following him again and again. One evening, while returning from the office, a cigarette thrown by a thug standing outside his apartment hits Kim. Kim looks at the tattoo on the man's body and his dangerous demeanor. Therefore, he lowers his head and quietly moves forward. But the matter does not end there. A little later, the same thug hits Kim with his car and knocks him to the ground. As soon as Kim gets up, he punches him in the face for no reason, none of these, because he thinks the man standing in front of him is very weak. Even after all this, Kim does not fight back. He quietly tolerates the humiliation and returns home as if nothing had happened. After reaching home, he prepares food and calls Minji to eat, but Minji is in a part. She is going through her rebellious teenage years and rejects almost every attempt made by her father. Both of them live under the same roof, but communication between them has almost completely ended. Kim has absolutely no idea that the daughter he has devoted his entire life to protecting is living a terrifying life every day at school. A girl named Hariri, along with her two friends, harasses Minji almost every day. They say that her clothes smell like an old man. They make fun of the fact that she has no mother and deliberately throw her books and belongings all over the entire class. They spread them all over the place. Sometimes Minji tries to defend herself, but every time, in response to her small act of courage, she is humiliated even more. Minji's birthday is approaching, and Kim begins to remember the attack that happened outside his apartment. He is afraid that one day his daughter might also encounter someone dangerous. At first he thinks about gifting her something for self-defense, but his colleague Sang, who works at the bank, explains to him that a teenage girl might prefer some fashionable clothes. Following her advice, Kim buys an expensive top worth 500,000 Korean won. Hearing such a high price, he feels terrible. Even so, he brings the top home and carefully hides it in a drawer. After that, Kim goes to the laundry room and tries to talk to Minji, but Minji says in a cold tone that from now on, the two of them will wash their clothes separately because she does not want her clothes to smell like an old man. This deeply hurts Kim's heart, but he says nothing and quietly leaves. In fact, Minji does not hate her father. The pain and anger she experiences every day at school has nowhere else to go. So she takes it all out on the one person she is sure will never leave her. The next morning, Kim is surprised to see that Minji has washed all the dirty dishes lying in the kitchen. It is a small thing, but the pain from the words of the previous night becomes a little less. On the other hand, at school, Minji goes to get ready for sports class. But she finds out that Hari and her friends have thrown her sports uniform into the trash can. Forced to, she starts walking toward the gym wearing her regular school uniform. On the way, she meets Nam, whom she secretly likes. After hearing the whole thing, Nam gives her his sports jacket. Even such a small act of help creates a wave of happiness in Minji's heart. Unfortunately, Hiriri sees all this. She also likes Nam and has already decided that Nam belongs only to her. Seeing him helping Minji makes the jealousy inside her grow even more. Meanwhile, Kem arrives at the annual gathering with his two old friends, Jong and Master Han. The three of them were once extremely dangerous and influential people in their youth, but now, from the outside, they look like ordinary middle-aged men. Even so, whenever they sit together, the old stories never end. Jing proudly shows the picture of his daughter printed on his t-shirt. Just then, some thugs sitting at the nearby table begin attacking the restaurant owner. Jing's blood boils and he wants to step in, but Kim and Master Han start pulling him outside. The thugs still do not let them leave peacefully and pour an entire pot of hot tea over Jong. With great difficulty, he controls his anger and continues moving forward. But then one of the thugs notices the picture of his daughter printed on his t-shirt and says something extremely filthy about her. That one sentence also ends Jong's remaining patience. Jong alone rushes into the middle of the thugs and beats them until they are no longer able to stand. Master Han asks Kim whether they should help Jing, but Kim pretends that he saw nothing and walks out of the restaurant. Finally, the police arrive and use a stun gun to stop Jing, who has become completely uncontrollable. At school, Minji returns Nam his jacket. The two talk for a while with smiles on their faces, but they do not know that Hari is watching them again. After school ends, Hari drags Minji into a storage room and immediately slaps her twice. Minji, frightened, tells her that she had only gone to return the jacket because someone had thrown her sports uniform into the trash can. Yeri refuses to listen to her. She kicks Minji to the ground and says that she is angry not because of Nam, but because of the dirty smell coming from Minji's body. After that, she makes fun of her dead mother. Minji's mother had died during her delivery, and this was the deepest wound in her heart. As soon as Hari insults her mother, Minji loses her patience. She lunges at Hyeri, knocks her to the ground, and starts punching her repeatedly. After some time, Kim receives a call from the school. The teachers repeatedly warn that Hari's father, Chairman Joe, owns a very large construction group. They explain that if the matter gets worse, no one at the school will be able to handle the consequences. When Kim reaches the school, Minji tearfully tells him that Hari had been bullying her for a very long time and that today was the first time she had fought back. She hopes that at least now her father will stand by her, but Kim does not give any explanation. He kneels in front of Hyeri's parents. He lowers his head, apologizes and begs them for mercy. He says that they are both parents of daughters. Therefore, he asks them to give her one chance. He also promises that he will immediately transfer Minji to another school. Chairman Joe, showing fake generosity, says that because Minji grew up without a mother, he will forgive her this time. But after Kim and Minji leave, Chairman Joe orders his people to find out everything about Kim. When he finds out that Kim is supposedly just an ordinary bank employee, contempt appears on his face. He also warns the principal that nothing should happen to his daughter again. Minji is completely broken. In the name of family, she has only her father left, but that same father knelt before the people who had been bullying her for a long time. She feels as if Kim had not only knelt before. He says that tonight she will stay at a classmate's house and leaves alone. On the way, she receives a message from Nam asking her to meet behind the school at night. At the same time, Kim goes to his wife's grave. While talking to her, he admits how difficult the past several years have been. He does not understand how to talk to his daughter and, while trying to protect her, how to not break her trust. By midnight, his worry has grown so much that he calls Minji. But her phone is switched off. When the phone remains switched off until the next morning, Kim calls the classmate whose house Minji had said she was going to. The girl tells him that Minji never came to her house. A terrible fear arises inside Kim. He immediately reaches the school and finds out that Minji did not come to class either. Just then, Nam appears in front of him with injuries on his face. Nam tells him that some thugs attacked him and took his phone, and using that same phone, they sent a message asking Minji to come behind the school. Without wasting any time, Kim reaches the place. There he finds a large bloodstain on the ground and a hair tie. He recognizes that this is the same hair tie he had seen on Hyeri's head the previous day. Soon, Hyeri returns there with a young thug to erase the evidence. Kim picks up the hair tie and asks in a stern voice, "Where is Minji?" Hearing him, the thug gets irritated and throws a punch at him without thinking. But Kim very easily dodges his attack. Kim's eyes remain fixed on Hyeri, and he asks the same question again. Angered by his humiliation, the thug takes off his shirt and shows the tattoos covering his entire body. At first, both of them think he is the same weak man who had knelt before Hyeri's father the previous day. The thug steps forward, grabs Kim's clothes, and tears his shirt while trying to attack him. As the shirt tears, countless old wounds and bullet marks covering Kim's entire body become visible. Seeing those marks, Hyeri and the thug are both shocked because it now becomes clear that the man standing in front of them is not an ordinary bank employee. The very next moment, Kim shows his true side. He grabs the thug and beats him so brutally that within a few seconds, his condition becomes terrible. Kim is only moments away from killing him, and he keeps asking only one question again and again. Where is my daughter? How did he become such a dangerous person? To understand this, the story takes us back to the year 2008. At that time, an extremely powerful and hardline North Korean minister was targeting several South Korean intelligence agents. To eliminate him, the South Korean intelligence sends Kim on a mission from which there was almost no hope of returning alive. Here it is revealed that Kim was actually from North Korea and worked there as an elite officer. Kim successfully completes the mission and kills the minister in a massive explosion. The world believes that Kim was also killed in that explosion. In the news, he is described as a North Korean officer who was corrupted by foreign powers and betrayed his country by killing a patriotic leader. But in reality, Kim had survived the explosion. As soon as he completes the mission, he immediately reaches a hospital in South Korea, where his wife is giving birth to their daughter, Minji. Here it is revealed that Kim had faked his death because he had already started a family and wanted to leave his old violent life behind forever. But on that very day, the greatest tragedy of his life strikes. His wife dies while giving birth to Minji. Before dying, she entrusts Minji to Kim's responsibility and begs him to forget his old violent life forever. She wants Kim to live only as the father of their daughter after that moment. Kim promises to fulfill her last wish, but the South Korean officials had initially said that this would be his final mission. Even so, they later want to use him for more operations. Eventually, Kim threatens to reveal confidential information to them that could even put the country's president in danger. Forced to do so, the officials give him his freedom. After this, Kim begins living like an ordinary South Korean citizen. He lives such a quiet and normal life that no one can even suspect his past. Kim spends his entire life raising Minji alone. Taking care of his daughter without his wife was extremely difficult for him, but every difficulty seemed small when Minji looked at him and called him Dad. Still, there was one condition to his freedom. The South Korean intelligence would keep watching him constantly. The day his true abilities were shown to the world, his peaceful life would end. This is why Kim endured insults, beatings, and humiliation for years without responding. But now his only daughter was missing. There was no meaning left in any of the rules he had followed for so many years. Kim slowly raises his head, and the last sign of weakness disappears from his eyes. The very next moment, he beats the thug so brutally that his entire face becomes covered in blood. He grabs him by the throat and asks about Minji in an ice-cold voice. Now both Hari and the thug become terribly frightened. To save his life, the boy tells the entire truth about the previous night. Even after Kim knelt down and apologized and promised to send Minji to another school, this had not calmed down. She felt that Minji fighting back was an open challenge to her authority. So she decided to teach her a lesson. On Hari's orders, the thugs first kidnapped Nam, beat him, and took his phone. Then they used the same phone to call Minji to the back of the school. Minji thought that Nam wanted to meet her, so she went there alone. But Hari, her two friends, and several young criminals were waiting for her there. This time, Minji refused to stay quiet. She said that she would not remain submissive like her father and started fighting back. She knocked Hayeri to the ground and humiliated her in front of everyone. Driven crazy by humiliation, Hayeri picked up a brick from the ground and hit Minji on the head. Minji immediately fell down and blood began spreading on the ground. Some students who were there became frightened, and one tried to call an ambulance. But the thugs were afraid that they would be held responsible, so they took everyone's phones. After that, they called a criminal named Vai from the Gold Tooth gang and asked him to dispose of Minji's body, which they believed was dead. V openly said that her father was Chairman Joe and that there would be no shortage of money. As soon as Gold Tooth heard Chairman Joe's name, he immediately became interested and ordered V to accept the job. His men arrived, put Minji in the trunk of a car, and took her away. During the journey, Gold Tooth secretly turned on the recording on his phone. He cleverly got Hari to say that she was the one who had struck her with the brick so that he could later use this recording against Chairman Joe. As soon as Kim heard the whole story, he returned home. He opens the deepest part of a hidden cabinet and takes out the combat equipment bag that has been locked away for years. After a short while, he reaches the Gold Tooth Gang's building with a terrifying calmness. Whoever the criminals are who come before him, he keeps taking them down without stopping. In one room, he sees a black market doctor preparing to remove the organs of a young captive girl. Kim picks up an axe from the ground and throws it with such precision that the operation immediately comes to a stop. On the other side, V and the other criminals try to escape after hearing the noise. He jumps out of the window, but he gets caught directly in the almost invisible sharp wire trap that Kim had already prepared. Kim grabs him and repeatedly pushes his head underwater, asking him where Minji is. He mocks him arrogantly and says that his punches are like those of a weak woman. Without saying anything, Kim takes a coin out of his pocket and crushes it between his fingers. After this, he takes a gun out of the bag and shoots V in the thigh. He calmly tells him that he is still alive, only because Kim still wants to believe that Minji might be alive. At the same time, a message from Goldtooth arrives on V's phone. Kim snatches the phone and tries to make a voice call. But Goldtooth immediately becomes suspicious because V had never called him on his own. He orders his men to erase the entire conversation and destroy the phone. Kim can only read the last message, which says that the girl's body has already been disposed of. Those words break Kim from the inside. He remembers his dying wife, who had held his hand and begged him to leave his violent life behind. She had said that from then on he should live only as Minji's father. Because of that promise, Kim had once held his commander hostage and forced the agency to set him free. From that day on, he hid his identity. He suppressed every violent instinct and devoted his entire life to his daughter. To hide his abilities, he even endured slaps and humiliation from strangers. After enduring everything for so many years, he had still failed to save Minji. Tears and anger fill his eyes at the same time. He points the gun at V's head and tells him to find a way to contact Goldtooth. Before he can do anything, the police raid the building and arrest Kim, who has become completely uncontrollable. Meanwhile, Jing and Master Han are also in custody because of the fight at the restaurant. The big problem is that someone had recorded Jing's fight and uploaded it to the internet. The video spreads rapidly and eventually reaches North Korean intelligence. The fight does not concern Jung. Their attention focuses on Kim, who appears for a few seconds in one corner of the video. Senior North Korean officials immediately call an emergency meeting. They thought Kim had died long ago. In their eyes, he was not just a runaway agent, but a traitor who supported South Korea and needed to be eliminated. Director Lee orders the agency's most dangerous assassin to go to South Korea and kill Kim. At the same time, South Korean intelligence also sees the video. Director Kang is told that Jing had completed several infiltration missions with Kim in North Korea. Because Jing's fight was recorded, Kim's whereabouts could be exposed. Director Kang knows that a man as dangerous and valuable as Kim must not fall into North Korean hands. Therefore, the South Korean agency also begins searching for him. The North Korean assassin illegally enters South Korea. He learns that Jung is being held at a police station, so he goes there. In the bathroom, he takes a police officer hostage, puts on his uniform, and reaches Jung's cell under the pretext of delivering food. He points a gun and asks for Kim's home address. Jung is afraid that if he refuses, innocent police officers will be harmed, so he gives him the address. The assassin promises that he will give Kim a quick death. Jing warns in a cold voice that anyone who goes looking for number 66 is walking toward his own death. After the assassin leaves, Jung plans to escape. He suddenly punches an officer and then starts loudly calling for help as if he has been attacked. As soon as the other police officers come inside, he takes advantage of the chaos and escapes. Meanwhile, Goldtooth edits Hari's recording, in which she is saying that she wants Minji's body to be disposed of. One of his men asks why he does not immediately blackmail Chairman Joe with the recording. Goldtooth knows very well that Chairman Joe is not an ordinary businessman. He started out as a member of a violent gang and gradually took over a construction company and became its chairman. Goldtooth had seen him with his own eyes making people kneel on broken glass. Fighting such a man was like putting your head into a tiger's mouth. Even one small mistake could mean death. After editing the recording, Goldtooth goes outside and opens the trunk in which Minji is lying. A strong smell of blood comes out. Irritated, he tells his men to wrap the person they think is a corpse in a plastic sheet. No one notices the slight movement of Minji's fingers. Kim, sitting in police custody, is unaware that his daughter is alive. He does not answer any questions. The officers enter his fingerprints into the system, but a warning appears on the screen saying that they do not have permission to view his information. While the police officers are trying to understand what is happening, Kim's phone rings. An officer sees Minji's name on the screen. Kim immediately springs into action. He breaks his handcuffs. He jumps across the room and grabs the phone, but by then the call has been disconnected and Minji's phone is switched off again. The only clue leading to his daughter disappears. Kim now refuses to remain in custody. He escapes from the police station and heads toward the friend who could track Minji's phone. Director Kang and the South Korean agency are also keeping an eye on Kim's activities. Kim does not know that two members of the surveillance team have been living around him for years. One was the owner who ran the laundry below his apartment, and the other was his ordinary-looking bank colleague, Sang. At the same time, the North Korean assassin reaches Kim's house. But instead of Kim, Jong is waiting for him there. As soon as he arrives, a shootout begins. Jong picks up a frying pan and uses it like a shield. Within a short time, the fight turns into a hand-to-hand fight, and Jing throws the assassin across the room. Realizing his defeat, he jumps over the wall and escapes. Jing tries to chase him, but his old back gives out. After both of them leave, the laundry owner comes out from behind the curtain and gives Director Kang all the information. Kim's phone location shows that he has gone to a taekwondo school. Checking the records reveals that its owner, Master Han, was not an ordinary instructor. He was an Olympic gold medalist in taekwondo who was later specially recruited by intelligence. He had completed several infiltration missions in North Korea with Kim and Jong. Kim tells Master Han that Minji is missing and asks for his help in tracking the phone through his command vehicle. Before they can leave, Director Kang arrives with his agents. He grabs a child who is present in the class and tells Kim and Master Han to surrender. But the child turns out to be smart. He bites Director Kang's hand and runs away. Kim and Master Han take this as a signal to start the attack. Their coordination is still the same, and they defeat the director and his agents. They leave the school and close the main door. The chase reaches the rooftop. Kim stops the agents, while Master Han fires a shot and prepares a rope. Both of them climb down the building and reach the command vehicle and turn on the tracking system. Just then, Jong's phone call comes. At first, he thinks Kim's problem is only the North Korean assassin. When he finds out that Minji is missing, he angrily says a long line of curses and immediately promises to come along. No one has any idea that now several different teams are searching for Minji. Kim and his friends want to save her. Chairman Joe wants to erase the evidence connected to Hari. The North Korean assassin is also following the same clues because he is sure that they will lead him to Kim. Hari has now stopped going to school and stays locked in her room. Chairman Joe becomes suspicious of her behavior, so he orders his people to hack her phone. Through the messages, they reach the young thug who had helped in the attack on Minji. He is caught and forced to reveal everything. Chairman Joe is told that Minji is missing and that her father has brutally beaten the thugs. Witnesses say that Kim had old wounds and bullet marks on his body. He did not seem like an ordinary bank employee in any way. The most suspicious thing was that nothing about him could be found in the system. Chairman Joe cannot understand why such a dangerous man had knelt before him at the school. The North Korean assassin also continues investigating Minji. A student tells him that Minji has not been coming to school and that her supposed friend may have her location, because the two had shared their locations on an application. The assassin finds the girl pretending to be sick in the school clinic. He takes her phone and obtains Minji's location information. Kim and Master Han reach the location connected to Minji's phone and find a building filled with young criminals. Kim does not want to waste time on the small-time thugs. He asks for their leader and forces one man to show him the way to the inner room. Master Han stays outside and handles the large crowd alone. The guard standing outside the leader's room arrogantly says that he is not like the weak thugs outside and that he will destroy both of Kim's eyes and ears. Kim does not give him time to finish his sentence. A single kick hits him in the face and he falls to the ground. Hundreds of mobile phones are kept inside the inner room. A telecommunications fraud network was being operated there. While looking around the room, Kim's eyes suddenly fall on the red-haired leader's pocket. Minji's phone is there, along with the same new phone charm that Kim had given her himself. Seeing his daughter's phone in the hands of those criminals, Kim loses control. He takes down everyone in the room and asks where the phone came from. The leader says filthy things about Minji and says that he was looking for her private pictures on the phone. Kim beats him until his face is unrecognizable. After that, he drags him toward the stairs and is about to throw him down. But Master Han stops him. He reminds him that Minji will not be found by killing that man. Seeing his life being spared, the leader immediately tells the truth that he had never met Minji. His men had bought the phone from a homeless man. He had only searched through the phone to find attractive pictures. During this, he accidentally called Kim. That is why, frightened, he ended the call and switched off the phone. Then, Kim notices something that he had never paid attention to before. In Minji's call history, there was almost no one besides her father. The person she considered her best friend was not a real friend either. Her messages only contained requests for money and demands to buy things. She had been using Minji for a long time. Tears begin to flow from Kim's eyes. For the first time, he realizes how lonely his daughter was. Despite suffering bullying every day at school, she had no true friend. On the day she needed her father, Kim had knelt before her attackers. He considers himself a failure in fulfilling his wife's last wish and feels that he has failed as a father. Master Han tells him to control his emotions. The only way to truly apologize was to find Minji alive. He continues questioning the red-haired leader and gets the address of the place where the homeless man found the phone. But before they can leave, the North Korean assassin comes up behind Kim and puts a gun to his head. He pulls the trigger, but Master Han kicks the weapon away at the last moment. Both of them move behind cover, while the assassin begins to pick up the gun. Just then, the laundry owner and Sang arrive and point their weapons first at the assassin and then at Kim. Kim had broken his deal with the intelligence agency. Kim does not resist. He only asks for time until Minji is found and promises that as soon as his daughter is found safe, he will surrender himself. After staying around him for so many years, Sang and the laundry owner cannot shoot him. They let Kim and Master Han go, but as soon as their attention is diverted, the North Korean assassin attacks. He shoots the laundry owner and injures Sang before continuing the chase. Sang crawls toward her partner and thinks he is dead. Then the laundry owner suddenly gets up and taps the bulletproof vest hidden under his clothes. He had prepared in advance. Kim is not so lucky. He had already been shot during the confrontation. Master Han tells him to go to the hospital, but Kim applies a simple bandage and orders him to keep driving. Master Han turns around and looks at the wound. When he looks ahead, Jong is happily waving in the middle of the road. The three friends go to find the homeless man and ask him where he found the phone. The man tells them that a short and fat man got out of a white car and threw the phone into a trash can. He picked up the phone and sold it to buy alcohol. Master Han retrieves the surveillance recording from outside the subway. Based on the time given, he identifies the short man. He obtains his personal information and finds out the registration number of the white car. At the same time, Goldtooth is imagining that with Hari's recording, he will make Chairman Joe kneel before him. Without thinking, his man puts potatoes in his bowl and asks if he has some old score to settle with Chairman Joe. As soon as he sees the potatoes, Goldtooth attacks the man like a madman, because potatoes were a symbol of the greatest humiliation of his life. Several years ago, Chairman Joe wanted to push forward a redevelopment project, but the people in the area were not willing to leave their homes. At that time, he ordered the gang leader to throw Goldtooth from the building. Then, in front of everyone, it was claimed that a cleaner had fallen because of the weak building. Using this accident as an excuse, the entire area was demolished. Goldtooth somehow survived. After recovering, he killed his former boss and took over the gang. Later, he gathered people and went to take revenge on Chairman Joe, but there was a huge difference in their power. Chairman Joe's men beat him badly. To completely destroy his dignity, they shoved an entire pot of hot potatoes into his mouth and pulled out his teeth one by one. Goldtooth had to beg for mercy like a dog. That humiliation still haunts him to this day. Now he thinks that Minji's supposed body is the perfect weapon against Chairman Joe. He orders his men to keep her in refrigerated storage and prepares for blackmail. He does not know that Minji is alive. Inside the freezer, Minji slowly regains consciousness and gets out of the bag. She looks for the door, but it is locked from the outside. No matter how much she bangs on the door and cries for help, there is no response. Goldtooth first orders a man to take a photo of Minji's body so that he can send the evidence to Chairman Joe. Then he worries that the man might make a mistake, so he decides to take the photo himself. Before entering the freezer, he sends Chairman Joe Hari's confession recording and demands to meet him alone. At his home, Chairman Joe directly asks Hari if she killed someone. At first, she denies it, but after her father's repeated questions, she admits that she hit Minji with a brick. Chairman Joe slaps her for not telling him immediately and for calling Goldtooth to remove the body. The very next moment, he hugs Hari and says that no matter what she has done, he will protect her. After her father leaves, the fear disappears from Hayeri's face. She knew from the beginning that her father would clear up the crime. Goldtooth enters the freezer. Hearing footsteps, Minji hides. He slowly moves toward her hiding place. Meanwhile, Minji curls up and trembles. Before he can see her, Chairman Joe's phone rings. Goldtooth goes outside and answers the call. To take revenge for the old humiliation, Goldtooth demands that Chairman Joe himself pull Jin's teeth and bring him to the meeting. Jin was the same man who had pulled out his teeth years ago. After sending the location, Goldtooth waits with complete confidence. Chairman Joe does not like threats. He orders Jin to put all the blame for Minji's supposed murder on Goldtooth. After that, he prepares to meet him with a large group. Kim, Master Han, and Jong are just about to find the location of the white car. The tracking has reached 95%. Just then, Director Kang, standing on a bridge, presses the detonator and Master Han's command vehicle is caught in an explosion. Fortunately, the vehicle was made with protective materials. Despite the powerful impact, the tracking system continues working. Kim does not care about the damaged vehicle and keeps watching the screen until the tracking reaches 100% and shows the location of the white car. From the bridge, Director Kang shouts and orders Kim to come out. Master Han comes out first. Already angry, he jumps into the air and delivers a spinning kick. Meanwhile, Director Kang shoots at him. The kick misses its target, but all the agent's attention turns toward Master Han, and Kim manages to escape. When Sang, the laundry owner, and the other agents arrive, Master Han attacks again and pushes Director Kang to the edge of the bridge. To escape from the agents, he signals Jong and jumps into the river himself. Jong watches him disappear into the water. He goes in front of the agents and raises his hands to surrender. Kim quickly heads toward the port connected to the white car. After identifying the car, he enters the only office in the area. He shows Minji's picture and asks for her location. Two thugs attack together, but within a short time, both of them are lying on the ground covered in blood. Outside the freezer, Goldtooth hears a slight sound behind him. He remembers that the door had not completely closed when he came outside. He turns around and his eyes meet Minji's, whom he thought was dead. Seeing her standing there, he cannot understand what is happening. Minji runs back inside and locks the door, and this time she locks Goldtooth outside. Goldtooth calls his men to bring the key, but he does not know that Kim has already defeated them. One of the injured thugs asks if Kim works for Chairman Joe. Seeing the confusion on Kim's face, he assumes that Minji is inside the freezer. He says that they did not kill her. They were only told to remove the thing they thought was a body. As soon as he hears the word body, Kim's anger reaches a dangerous level. He warns that if Minji is found dead, every person there will die with her. After this, he chases a thug who is escaping in a car. Instead of stopping him immediately, he repeatedly gives him hope of escaping, and then crashes into his car like a cat playing with a mouse. When the car is completely destroyed, Kim pulls the man out and orders him to take him to the freezer. On the way, several gang members surround them. Kim locks his prisoner inside a shipping container and tells the others to all come together because he does not have time. A few minutes later, he opens the container. When the prisoner looks outside, every thug is lying unconscious. Trembling with fear, he points toward the freezer. Suddenly, a speeding car hits Kim and the man. The driver is North Korean assassin number 76. Kim and number 36 immediately begin fighting. Kim knocks him down several times, but he gets back up again and again because he had only one goal: avenge the death of his older brother, the real number 66. When Kim traps him in a chokehold, he suddenly calls him by his real name. As a child, Kim had seen number 66 say goodbye to his younger brother and had not forgotten the boy's name. Kim lets him go and tells him that he did not kill number 66. At the training camp, the two were once rivals, but later they became like brothers and risked their lives for each other many times. During the final mission, an explosion destroyed one of number 66's legs. He knew that he would not survive, so he ordered Kim to leave alone. Kim refused and picked up his gun, ready to die with his friend. Number 66 used his last strength to stop him and ordered him to stay alive. Because of that final wish, Kim stopped resisting and was captured by the South Korean intelligence. Later, he learned that the entire mission was a trap. At that time, Director Lee was not the head of the agency. He leaked the mission information to South Korea so that the failure of the operation would ruin his senior and he could take the position for himself. Kim repeats number 66's last words. Number 76 remembers that when they separated in childhood, his brother had said the same thing to him. Finally, he becomes convinced that Kim was not responsible for his brother's death. On the other side, Ji-young, who had only pretended to surrender, escapes in the agent's vehicle. Judging the direction of the wind and the river's current, he reaches the place where Master Han was going to come ashore. After a while, Master Han comes out of the water, dragging Director Kang with him, who was almost drowned and perhaps did not know how to swim. Both know that the director will not stop chasing them. Ji-young finds an advantage even in every loss. He steals the intelligence vehicle and phone, uses Director Kang's bank card until the limit runs out, and prepares a vehicle filled with weapons. Inside the freezer, Minji remembers the life she spent with her father. She regrets all her cruel words and refuses to remain helpless. One of Goldtooth's injured men comes crawling back. Minji quietly opens the door and starts looking for a way to get outside. At the same time, Jin arrives there with Chairman Joe's men. Minji hides in a nearby warehouse. Kim finally reaches the freezer and searches for her like a madman. At first, he sees only frozen bodies. He thinks Minji might be among them and completely breaks down. Then a message written on the ice inside the freezer becomes visible. Kim recognizes Minji's handwriting and immediately understands that she is alive. He climbs onto the containers and looks around the area. In the distance, he sees Minji crossing the outer wall and heading toward the road. He shouts her name with all his strength, but the heavy rain drowns out his voice. Minji does not hear him and disappears beyond the wall. Jin reaches Goldtooth. He remembers that years ago he had pulled out Goldtooth's teeth with his own hands. He is angry that this gangster dared to threaten the chairman. He orders his men to pull out Goldtooth's new golden teeth one by one. Covered in blood, Goldtooth finally tells him that Minji is alive. He laughs and warns that the girl's father is the real monster. Jin leaves with his men to search for Minji and leaves one man behind to finish off Goldtooth. Goldtooth uses his last strength to attack the man and stabs him repeatedly. Minji, who has reached the road, tries to stop passing cars, but no one stops. When she begins to lose hope, a vehicle slows down. Thinking that she has been saved, Minji gets inside, unaware that Chairman Joe is sitting in the back seat of the car. After failing to reach Minji, Kim calls Sang and the laundry owner. He begs them to check the surveillance footage and promises that as soon as Minji is found, he will surrender. They tell Director Kang about his request and ask him to help a helpless father one last time. But Director Kang sees this as a different opportunity. For him, Minji was Kim's only weakness, and he wanted to find her first and use her to pressure Kim. The system identifies the vehicle in which Minji was sitting. At first, no one understands that it is Chairman Joe's car. Sitting in the back seat, Chairman Joe smiles when he looks at the girl who had unknowingly fallen into his hands. Now he could use Minji to save Hari and also find out Kim's true identity. As soon as he learns that Minji has reached Chairman Joe's house, Director Kang prepares to launch a raid, and before the operation begins, Sang secretly sends Kim a message that Minji went in Chairman Joe's car. Master Han also reaches Kim, and the two leave together. Chairman Joe asks Minji to take a bath and change her clothes first. Minji cleverly hides the things related to Hyeri. She says that after leaving the principal's office, she was attacked and opened her eyes in the freezer. She does not mention Hari's name, but Chairman Joe understands her story. He also knows that after getting into the car, Minji pretended to sleep. At first, she had not seen Chairman Joe sitting in the back. Then she heard his voice saying that his daughter's enemy had come to him herself. Minji understood that she had escaped from one danger and entered another, so she kept her eyes closed. Now she asks for a phone to call her father. Chairman Joe clearly refuses and says that he is going to kill her. Minji runs away, but the guards standing at the door catch her. Chairman Joe comes closer with a syringe and tells her that Hari is his most precious thing. No matter what crime his daughter commits, he will save her every time. Before he can inject the syringe, Director Kang and his agents break through the main door and enter. Chairman Joe tells his men to lock Minji in the basement. Director Kang orders a search of the entire house and demands that the girl be handed over. But Jin defeats every agent heading toward the basement. Just then, Director Kang receives a call from the deputy minister. He scolds him for entering a civilian's house without legal authority and orders him to withdraw. Kim and Master Han are watching everything from outside. They see Sang and the laundry owner going in different directions and realize that Director Kang may have made some hidden plan. The two decide to go separately. After a while, Director Kang meets Sang at an isolated place. Minji comes out of his vehicle. The public raid at the house was only meant to distract them. During that time, Sang and the laundry owner entered the basement, defeated the guards, and brought Minji outside. Minji is shocked to learn that the ordinary laundry owner is actually Agent Choi. Before she can ask any questions, Director Kang puts her in his car and takes her to the intelligence headquarters. Agent Choi feels that using Minji against Kim is wrong, but he cannot openly disobey the order. They do not know that Kim is following them. He pulls the agent guarding the last vehicle with a steel wire. Two men get out of the vehicle to investigate. Kim covers one man's mouth, takes his weapon, and shoots the other in the leg. Then he forces them to tell him that Minji is being taken to the intelligence headquarters. He steals their vehicle and warns Director Kang over the radio that if even a single hair on Minji's head is harmed, every person there will be killed. Director Kang does not believe that Kim will surrender after finding his daughter. After reaching the headquarters, he locks Minji in the interrogation room and deploys a tactical team. But Kim and his friends have already made two major preparations. Ji-young gathers a large amount of advanced equipment from the storage of old assassins. On the other side, Master Han hangs underneath an intelligence vehicle and reaches directly inside the headquarters. He catches a security guard and takes his access card, finds the location of the electrical control room, and memorizes the emergency map. After having a joking conversation with a cleaning worker, he ties him up and enters the ventilation system. In the power room, he connects a bottle of water to a thin string and places the other end of the string over an electric switch. He leaves the cap loose enough so that the water slowly reaches down. The plan is that by the time they get Minji out, the water will fall onto the system and the entire building will be plunged into darkness. He tells him that Kim was a North Korean spy. For more than 10 years he had lived a peaceful life, but suddenly became active again and attracted North Korea's attention toward himself. The director wants to know what could make such a dangerous man risk everything. Minji tells the entire story of the fight with Hyeri and the revenge that followed. Director Kang begins laughing in disbelief. He cannot believe that a former assassin who had completed countless violent operations has returned to the field because of a fight between two school-going girls. Minji is also shocked. The father whom she thought was weak and timid was actually a dangerous operative. Before the interrogation is complete, the director learns that the deputy minister is coming. The deputy minister scolds him for the illegal raid and orders Minji to be released. Director Kang accuses him of taking advantage of Chairman Joe and protecting a criminal. He warns that Kim is turning the entire country upside down for his daughter. If Minji goes to Chairman Joe, both of them could die. In the isolation room, Minji hears someone calling her from above. She raises her head and sees Master Han inside the vent. He pulls her up, and the two move forward through the duct. At the same time, the water reaches the electrical system. The lights of the entire building go out and the alarms start ringing. Master Han brings Minji to the parking level. As soon as they reach the ground, Director Kang and a large tactical force appear in front of them. He had already understood their route. Master Han tells Minji to run toward the emergency exit as soon as he counts to 3. He protects her with flash grenades, smoke grenades, and bullets. The entire parking area fills with smoke and chaos. Director Kang quickly realizes that no agent has been shot. Master Han was firing blanks. He orders his team to use real bullets. Amid a rain of bullets, Master Han and Minji hide behind the cars. When the team surrounds them from all sides, Master Han raises a white cloth and pretends to surrender. Suddenly, the deputy minister screams for everyone to stop. A thin steel cable is wrapped around his neck. He moves like a puppet because the man holding the other end was controlling his life. Kim is standing above. After surviving so many dangers, he finally sees his daughter. Kim tells Director Kang and the tactical team to put down their weapons in exchange for the deputy minister's life. Director Kang has become so obsessed that he orders them to shoot, even if the deputy minister dies. The tactical commander refuses to put the life of a senior government official at risk and orders the team to stop. Director Kang tries to fire himself, but Ji-young appears with a machine gun and fires real bullets into the wall as a warning. After that, he gives the machine gun to Master Han and takes something like a landmine out of his vehicle. He places it on the ground and says that it is activated by sound and movement. If anyone moves even a finger, the whole place will blow up. Anyone who wants to die can try it. Everyone becomes frozen in fear. Minji runs toward Kim and hugs him tightly. The father and daughter are finally reunited. Ji-young's vehicle is badly damaged, so they take the keys from the tactical commander. Ji-young holds the fake mine's remote and orders everyone to keep their hands up. Kim and his friends put Minji in the vehicle. While leaving through the gate, they throw the deputy minister outside. After they are safe, Kim first asks to go to the restaurant, because Minji had not eaten properly for several days. He apologizes to his daughter for not understanding the pain she was going through. Minji hugs him against his chest while crying and regrets every harsh word she had said. If this father and daughter part of the story touches your heart, then make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. In the story ahead, the danger is going to increase many times more than before. The four enter the restaurant and smile together after a long time. They do not know that Jin has already been keeping an eye on them, and Chairman Joe calls and orders them to capture both Kim and Minji. He wants to know the real identity of the man who once knelt in front of him. Trained attackers lift their entire car and put it inside a transport container. Kim calms Minji and tells her that there is no need to be afraid. Master Han warns Ji-young not to do anything foolish. Ji-young thinks that this is the perfect time for a heroic entrance and starts loudly challenging the enemy. Before he can finish, he smells the sleeping gas spreading inside the container. He claims that he once did not sleep for an entire month and that the gas cannot harm him. The next moment, he jumps through the window so that he can roll inside the car. When the vehicle becomes quiet, Jin assumes that everyone is unconscious. He tells his men to capture Kim and Minji and kill Master Han and Ji-young. As soon as the container opens, Master Han speeds up the vehicle and the car comes out of the truck. Jin gathers a large force and surrounds Kim and Master Han, while he himself goes into the truck to get Minji. Ji-young, who appears to be unconscious, suddenly sits up. He takes Minji to a safe place and stands in front of Jin. Outside, Kim and Master Han fight the attackers. Kim sees that the truck carrying Minji has started moving, so he leaves the remaining enemies to Master Han and runs toward a nearby hill. Judging the speed and direction of the truck, he jumps from the slope and lands exactly on its roof. Kim reaches the driver's cabin, throws the driver out, and inside, Ji-young gives Jin no chance to recover. When Jin tries to fight back, Ji-young cuts his wrist and beats him until he starts begging for mercy. Kim turns the truck around and picks up Master Han, who had already defeated all the attackers. The three put Minji back in the vehicle and leave. Instead of returning home, Kim goes directly to Chairman Joe's house. After defeating the guards, he enters his room. Chairman Joe still does not understand the danger. He mocks Kim for being unable to save his daughter and offers to make him his private servant by paying him 100 million Korean won every month. Kim looks at the completely immoral man and, without warning, delivers a powerful blow. Chairman Joe takes out a knife from his desk and attacks. His moves look like a child's compared to Kim's experience. Kim takes the weapon away from him and then, as soon as he understands the difference in danger, Chairman crawls out of the room until he can no longer walk. Kim silently follows like death. Chairman falls down the stairs. Kim is about to deliver the final blow when Minji calls out to him. She does not want her father to have more blood on his hands. Kim leaves Chairman alive, but tells him to apologize to Minji. To save his life, Chairman says that both of them are fathers of daughters, so he should show mercy. These were the same words Kim had said while kneeling before him at the school. Now the situation has completely reversed. Chairman Joe feels the same helplessness and humiliation that he had given Kim. Minji orders him to take Hyeri to the police and confess to the crime. After Kim leaves, the injured chairman looks at his back with hatred and vows to take revenge many times over for every humiliation. Meanwhile, Director Kang and Agent Ji-young remain around the fake mine for 4 hours. Finally, they discover that it was completely fake. But the danger is not over. General Park surrounds Kim's house with armed forces. Before surrendering, Kim cooks a big meal for Minji. He takes out the expensive birthday gift that he had never been able to give her and finally celebrates her birthday. For the first time, he tells her the truth. He was a North Korean operative and had promised her mother that he would now live only as Minji's father. But now, the two will have to separate. Maybe they will meet soon, or maybe never. After an emotional farewell, Kim goes outside and surrenders to the army. Master Han and Ji-young are also arrested. Kim is in prison while Chairman Joe prepares for revenge. He hires a lawyer to protect himself and Hyeri. The lawyer advises that Hyeri be sent abroad until the situation becomes calm. Chairman Joe bribes a powerful official with 6 golden balls. The official agrees to everything and promises to take control of the police investigation. Goldtooth gets new golden teeth made for himself. Number 76 also secretly recovers and waits for the right opportunity. In custody, Kim's eyes are covered. Some people say that he has been ordered to be transferred somewhere else. When he regains consciousness, Kim is not in an ordinary South Korean intelligence building. He thinks that he has secretly been sent to North Korea. He is chained in a dark room where torture equipment is kept. A cold voice says that he has been hiding for a very long time. The interrogators repeatedly torture him using various methods to make him reveal information about the South Korean intelligence, saying that they will do the same to Minji. As soon as he hears his daughter's name, Kim changes. When the interrogator comes closer, Kim suddenly attacks him and bites him hard enough to make him fall. Kim breaks free and escapes through the door. Outside, General Park and Director Kang are waiting for him. Kim had not been sent to North Korea. The entire torture room was a test to find out whether he would betray South Korea under pain. Even after enduring extreme suffering, he had revealed nothing. If he completes this, he will receive freedom and a new identity that will allow him to live openly with Minji. Kim asks what the job is. A senior North Korean official was betraying his government and seeking political asylum in South Korea, but at the same time, sensitive high-level talks between the two countries were about to take place. If North Korea found out that the South was hiding him, relations could break down. Kim had to protect that official until the talks were over and the North Korean delegation had returned. Director Kang promises that the agency will keep Minji safe. Despite not trusting Kim, he claims that he can give his life for any South Korean citizen. Kim accepts the job on one condition: Master Han and Ji-young must be released immediately. In their separate cells, Master Han and Ji-young are informed that they are being transferred. Officers fire tranquilizer darts through small holes. The two old men try to avoid them by jumping around in the cramped rooms, but the darts keep coming and eventually both of them collapse. When they regain consciousness, Master Han and Ji-young are chained to each other in a remote forest. The key had deliberately been placed some distance away. Master Han understands that Director Kang has taken revenge. He barely rolls across the ground to reach the key. He frees both of them and looks for a nearby shop. There, they find out that they have been left far away from the capital. The talks between the North and the South were going to take place in the same hotel owned by Chairman Joe. The Deputy Minister and Chairman Joe had both been humiliated by Kim and wanted revenge. The Deputy Minister tells Chairman Joe that Kim was once a North Korean elite operative and is currently protecting a major defector. Chairman Joe understands that he has found the perfect opportunity to eliminate Kim. The North Korean officials had recently discovered that the mission from 20 years ago had been leaked by someone within their own organization. The traitor was Director Lee. He sacrificed his agents so that his senior's career would be destroyed and he could gain leadership. When officials came to arrest him, he attacked and escaped, then sought protection from South Korea. Director Lee understands Kim's reaction. He reminds him that South Korea accepted him because he has information related to North Korea's missile system. Kim suppresses his anger and takes him safely home. While taking a shower, Director Lee's large wound on his waist becomes visible. Before leaving North Korea, he had cut open his body and hidden the memory card containing the missile information inside it. He knows that Kim wants to kill him, so he keeps provoking him. He says that he left the country by his own choice, while Kim was captured and then begged South Korea to accept him. Kim does not respond and continues watching the news about the talks on television. The North Korean delegation arrives at Chairman Joe's hotel. Commander Ri learns that Director Lee is in South Korea and may now be under the government's control. Chairman Joe stops him and asks if he is looking for Director Lee. Then he tells him about that traitor. Commander Ri immediately calls him into a private room. Chairman gives him 3 gold bars and asks for a favor. At the safe house, Kim, Sang and Agent Choi see some unfamiliar vehicles entering the area. They immediately begin the evacuation plan. People dressed in black enter the house, but no one is inside. Seeing recent traces, they understand that the target has just left and begin the pursuit. Short distance away, Kim is seen putting Director Lee into the car. During the attack, Sang had disguised herself in the fleeing car. After shaking off the pursuers, she prepares to call Kim, report the attack, and ask for a new location. Kim stops her. The enemy had arrived too quickly, which meant there was an informant inside the intelligence agency. He orders her not to tell anyone their location from now on. Agent Choi asks what Kim said, but Sang has now started suspecting everyone and says that it was nothing important. The attackers report the failure to Commander Rai. Commander Rai immediately orders them to find Director Lee. Chairman says that even after finding him, attacking among ordinary people would be difficult, so the political situation would have to be escalated. On Chairman's advice, Commander Rai raises the matter through official channels. The South Korean negotiation chief contacts General Park, and Director Kang is ordered to find Kim. Kim has taken Director Lee to Master Han's Taekwondo school. Seeing Master Han and Jong, Lee feels relieved. He is convinced. Jong tells him that General Park had called them to help with the mission, but Master Han refused. Kim says that refusing was the right decision. He will take Director Lee to another place after dark and does not want to put his friends in danger again. Before ordering the food, Director Kang surrounds the school with a large tactical team. He announces that Director Lee will be returned to North Korea. Kim asks why. Director Kang claims that he has been ordered to arrest dangerous communists. He was against saving Lee from the beginning and also disagreed with the government's treatment of Kim. After this, he shows a picture of Minji, who is at the intelligence headquarters, and reminds him who controls his daughter's safety. The agent takes Kim's weapon. Behind this is Chairman Joe's political plan. Before the negotiations began, Commander Ri had shown the South Korean delegation evidence that Director Lee was inside the country and that Number 66 was protecting him. He threatened that if the two men were not handed over, the negotiations would end and a major diplomatic crisis would arise. The South Korean representatives ordered General Park to follow the order. General Park had his own thinking. By handing over Kim and Director Lee, the political problem would end. After that, all his actions could be described as the personal actions of a former North Korean agent. Director Kang arrests both of them from Master Han's school and hands them over to the North Korean agents. They immediately shoot Director Lee and hand Kim over to Chairman Joe. After enduring humiliation again and again, Chairman feels that he has finally won. He strikes Kim on the head with a pistol. He could shoot him right there, but he considers death an easy punishment. He orders Kim to be taken to a place where he can torture him slowly. As soon as a man grabs Kim, Kim takes his weapon. At the same time, Jong arrives and helps defeat the guards. Seeing the situation change, Chairman tries to escape in the car, but Master Han catches him. The three friends stand together again. Kim believes that Director Lee may not actually be dead because North Korea needs information from him. He asks Chairman where they took Lee. Chairman makes a deal. If his life is spared, he will provide Director Lee's location. They take him to Sang and Agent Choi, who are monitoring the hotel with a drone. Sang says that a North Korean agent took a very large bag into the hotel suite. It is possible that Lee is inside. South Korean agents were keeping an eye on some parts of the hotel and could enter employee areas like the kitchen or laundry, but the North Korean team was watching their every move. Commander Ri was on the 5th floor and the North Korean surveillance room was on the 4th floor. With so much security, getting Director Lee out seemed almost impossible. Kim warns Chairman that Lee will only survive if he is saved and asks about a secret entrance. Chairman tells him about a secret emergency exit. Kim immediately makes a plan. The North Korean team had turned off the hotel's old cameras and was running its own system from the surveillance room on the 4th floor. First, it was necessary to take control of that room. Kim would save Director Lee. Master Han and Jong would draw the agents to the other side and create a path. Agent Choi would disguise himself as a laundry worker, hide Lee in a cart, and take him out through the loading area. There were only 10 minutes for the laundry vehicle to leave, so the entire operation had to be completed within that time. Meanwhile, the large bag is opened in front of Commander Ri. Director Lee is alive and safe. Before the shooting, he had been made to wear a bulletproof vest under his clothes. His video had been made only to deceive his own government. Kim's team reaches the hotel's private office through Chairman's secret route. After getting the building plan, he assigns everyone's roles and smiles at the message that has arrived. Before starting the mission, he is tied up and 2 hotel employees are restrained. Jong and Sang wear service uniforms and take a food trolley toward the surveillance room. Master Han is hidden inside the trolley. Agent Choi keeps the laundry vehicle ready outside. The 10-minute countdown begins. Sang rings the doorbell and says that she has come to deliver food. As soon as the door opens, she and Jong attack. Master Han enters the trolley. Through the camera system, they find the room where Director Lee is being held and send the information to Kim. Kim descends from the roof with the help of a rope and reaches the room's balcony. Inside, Commander Rhee has sent everyone else outside and is talking to Director Lee alone. He says that he has no interest in the missile information. He knew that Lee had converted the government's $8 million in political funds into casino chips and kept them in a private vault. The vault password was on a card. Commander Rhee makes a deal that the car... He had already guessed that someone would come after the money, so he had hidden the card before coming to South Korea. Just then, Kim enters, knocks Commander Rhee unconscious, and takes Director Lee out. Now only 5 minutes remain. To distract the North Korean agents, Jong and Master Han deliberately walk through the corridor and argue with each other about who will kill more people. Sang stays in the surveillance room and looks for a safe route for Kim to the laundry area. Just then, the North Korean commander calls the room. When there is no answer, he realizes that something is wrong. Sang warns Kim. Kim tells her to leave immediately and decides to find his own way. Before the North Korean agents reach the room, Sang enters the elevator. Seeing the faulty camera feed, the commander orders the system to be fixed and activates the signal jammer. A loud electrical noise fills everyone's earpieces. Kim and his chairman tries to untie the rope in his office. By moving his body, he drops a lighter from his pocket and cuts the rope with the burning flame, even though his hands keep getting burned. Unaware of this, Kim continues taking Director Lee out of the hotel. Along the way, he sets up almost invisible steel wires. The pursuing agents keep getting caught in them. Jong and Master Han also defeat groups one after another. Jong deliberately enters an elevator full of North Korean agents because the Korean commander had seen his team losing everywhere after the cameras came back on and had cut the power to trap Kim's people in the dark. After regaining consciousness, Commander Rhee becomes furious with humiliation and orders everyone to become active. The new order is that both Kim and Director Lee must be killed at any cost. Kim finally brings Director Lee to the laundry area, but 10 minutes have already passed. Agent Choi had waited as long as he could. Hotel security had started becoming suspicious, so he had to leave to protect his cover. Now the North Korean agents begin shooting at Kim and Lee. They have neither communication nor a vehicle left. Jong is still fighting inside the elevator. Master Han faces the strongest man in the building. The North Korean commander was a wrestler in the same Olympic competition in which Master Han had participated. He knew that Han's greatest strength was his kicks, so he traps him in a narrow dishwashing room where there is no space to move his legs. He repeatedly attacks Master Han's strong leg until it is almost useless. Enduring the pain, Master Han picks up nearby plates and smashes them over the wrestler's head and finally defeats him. Master Han and Jong return to Chairman's office, but he has already escaped from the rope. Before attacking, Chairman shows a video. Jong grabs his collar in anger, but Chairman controls both of them by threatening the children's lives. At the same time, Sang reaches Kim and Director Lee. The three fight the attackers and leave in one of the hotel's vehicles. Along the way, number 76 appears in front of them and points a gun at Director Lee. He wanted to take revenge for his brother's death. Kim understands his pain, but stands in front of Lee. He says that protecting this enemy is necessary because only after completing the mission. Number 36 trusts Kim and lowers his weapon. They get into Agent Choi's laundry vehicle and leave the hotel. While passing through security, Agent Choi innocently asks why there were sounds of gunfire and whether everyone is safe. The guards say that there is no danger and let him leave. Kim prepares to take Director Lee to the hospital. He says to forgive him. Kim immediately understands that something is wrong. He leaves Director Lee with Sang and Agent Choi and goes alone toward Chairman Joe's property. There, 2 children are tied with ropes, and Master Han and Jong are standing in a fighting area surrounded by a metal fence. Chairman orders them to kill Kim, otherwise the children's lives will be lost. They have to choose between their children and their brother-like friend. He says that the next bullet will be real. Kim apologizes for bringing his friends into his trouble. To save the children, he attacks Master Han and Jong himself so that they will fight back. Both are forced to beat him. After several rounds, Kim stands bloodied against the fence. Chairman comes closer and mocks that Kim will die without seeing Minji again. He does not know that the entire fight was part of the plan. Kim had explained to his friends through hidden signals that whenever they hit him, they should deliberately make him fall against the same section of the fence so that it would gradually become weak. When Chairman comes closer, Kim suddenly grabs his throat. Master Han and Jong attack the weakened fence together. The entire section falls onto Chairman, and he becomes trapped underneath. They untie the children and make sure that both are safe. Kim leaves the rest of the matter to his friends because one more task remained. For the safety of the children, Master Han and he bring the children to the military place. The angry wife scolds her husband and asks why he got involved in Kim's trouble again. Both say that Kim did not force them. They themselves decided to stand with their friend. Jong's wife finally agrees to protect the children and they both leave. Kim enters the hospital disguised as a doctor. He gives Director Lee a sedative and takes him outside in a wheelchair. General Park had already agreed with him. In exchange, Lee had asked for protection to go to Macau. General Park had agreed, but he had no intention of saving a useless traitor. Kim hands the unconscious Director Lee over to Number 76 and says that his fate is now completely in his hands. Number 76 wishes Kim and Minji a peaceful future. Kim reminds him again that no matter what happens, staying alive is important. When Director Lee regains consciousness, he finds himself by the sea. At first, he thinks he has reached Macau. Then he realizes that the memory card hidden in his waist has been removed. North Korean propaganda boards are visible in front of him. He had been sent back to North Korea. When soldiers run toward him, he panics, enters the sea, and tries to escape through the water. The negotiations between North and South finally succeed. The South Korean Prime Minister warns Commander Ri that his people have caused enough trouble in the country. To hide his humiliation, Commander Ri gets his government to announce that Director Lee and Number 66 were both killed. If the truth came out that both had escaped after being handed over, then... They did not know that before Lee was taken away, the South Korean intelligence had already obtained his important military information. After this, Kim contacts a very wealthy and influential acquaintance of his. He asks him to destroy Chairman Zhou's entire construction company and promises to complete any future mission in return. The Haag Group collapses under investigations into corruption, bribery, and illegal business. All government officials connected to Chairman are arrested. Hyeri, who had been sent abroad, is also caught, and the truth about what she did to Minji comes out in front of everyone. The badly injured and humiliated Chairman Zhou is brought before reporters. Then Goldtooth, hiding among the journalists, removes his disguise and attacks the man who had ruined his entire life.